Good morning, Fearless Mods fans. This is Biff, and we are headed back to the track. This is the fourth autocross session of the season for the Boeing Sports Car Club, and we were there last month, but we ended up having some really glitchy video experiences with the camera on the gimbal switching over to the car's audio and all the time, so we had no audio. Sorry about that. We are now going out to the fourth session, our second, and we'll have a good time out there. So if you want to learn about the Porsche Track Precision app and some of the things we've kind of like discovered in getting ready for today, trying to prep to be ready so that we can just make it work on the track, then stay tuned. So we've made it here to the track. It is looking like we will get some rain today, but we are going ahead and getting the car prepped. We've got everything off the back and the front so that we can pass inspection. We have our tech sheet. We're running number 18 in the first heat. I've got my tires marked so I can check the tread wear here up over the edge. So as I remove pressure, I can get down here kind of to this line. You can kind of see from last time we were here. Shooting for that to get optimum traction. So I'm going to go ahead and let a little bit of air out of all of them right now, and we'll see where that puts us. But hopefully we'll be able to get this track day in mostly, and maybe only a little umbrella, maybe make it a little bit of fun. I walked over to the start line and tried to put the start point over there and then the finish point over there, and it said that they were too close together. So I don't know if I'm going to have to wait until I'm driving the first time. That's always problematic to hit that finish line right at the right time because you're kind of focused on driving. But we'll see if we can get it set up. Maybe when I walk the course, I can set some other points along the way or record it as a lap and see if it allows me to hit a finish over there since the segments aren't overlapping. But we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you up to date. And yep, just waiting now for the wind to pick up and the rain to stay away and to pass our inspection, walk the course, get everybody set up, and start racing. Time for the course walk under the umbrella here. And everybody's under umbrellas. It just let up. It was coming down pretty good a second ago. Go ahead and put this down for a minute. I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to mark these cones and people are going to be sliding through them a lot more today because of the wet surface, and the chalk's going to be gone. So we'll see how that goes. When we get way down here towards the end, I'm going to set a segment, and hopefully that'll force the track to see that it's actually longer than it is without all the lines in between it yet. All right, we've had a couple of interesting things here on this track. First, the slalom is optional, what direction you choose when you enter. So you might be tempted to come straight through on the right side of the first cone, but then you're going to have to run the full slalom. And the reason I say that is because if you go ahead and take that first cone on the left side, then you essentially eliminate the last cone because you're passing it on the right, and you can cut straight towards the other gate. It almost effectively eliminates part of the track, which is pretty awesome. The other thing is, on this wet surface, the back corner has a sweeping left, and it puts you dangerously close to a concrete pillar. So hopefully nobody slides into that. Okay guys, this is going to be interesting. It is definitely raining. We heard one clap of thunder. Somebody said they saw a flash. I didn't see it. Hopefully we can get going. We're in the first heat. Get at least a run in. I think it's going to be mostly just having fun out here. For precision, track precision, it wouldn't, maybe it's user error, but I tried to put in I had the start light in. Like I said, the finish line was too close, so I couldn't get it to take. So I put a segment out there. It took the segment, but when I tried to then again hit the finish, it wouldn't let me save the finish. So we're going to have to do it on the car screen as we cross the start and finish line. I think the first run is going to be very low key and calm in the grand scheme of things. So hopefully we can do that. Typically it's very hard with the Sport Chrono on here to ever get a start and stop at the line. But we'll see what we can do. We'll get them close, and then we'll have a track defined. We'll do it as you driving the car, as the app says. And aside from that, I told you what some of the concerns are out there. So main thing is, let's see how the rear wheel drive GTS does in this environment. The other thing I did last month is I had a full tank of gas in the front, and with it being rear engine, rear wheel drive, having that weight on the front wheels, which are normally pushing a bit through the turns, I really liked the balance it gave me and how it helped me kind of keep that front stuck where I needed it. Today, I didn't go to a full tank. I did put in 10 gallons on the way over here. It's a 24-gallon tank, 22, whatever it is, extended range. And so that puts me at about maybe 13-ish, 14 gallons of fuel in the car. The 10 gallons are an extra 70 pounds up front that wouldn't have been there. So we'll see what it does. Definitely could use that today because I think the front's going to be pushing all over. So we will wait for the course workers to get out there and get set up, and then we'll get out there and hit it and see if we can get a run or two in, or 6, hopefully, and how they go. So stay with us. More to come. Well, I don't know if you can hear it, but I hear thunder. That was interesting and fun, and I'm not going to touch the air pressure at all because we're not going fast enough for me to tell what was happening. I didn't feel like I was pushing or getting loose, so I can probably go a little more on the ragged edge. 56.5 seconds on that one. Shouldn't have got any cones. Ran the proper course, got a good look at it. I kind of like what amounts to lower speed to be able to kind of judge the course before you then start stepping it up. But I prefer it to be a dry day. It's still very exciting. We shaved about, that was like a 52.8 it said. The last one was like a 56.5. So we took about 4 seconds off on that one. Definitely was feeling traction control jumping in there here and there, and it was a lot of fun. and I think that's probably going to be about as to the limit as we can push it. I didn't make any mistakes on that one. I felt like everything went exactly as it should have, so really happy with run number 2. I do plan on just leaving the tires where they are. I don't care about the temperatures. I don't care about the pressures. It is what it is out here in these conditions. But let's keep having some fun and see if we can get 4 more runs in before this gets called for weather. Shouldn't clean so far, so let's hopefully not jinx it. All right, our AC's off, wipers on, sport mode, not launching. Here we go.
And I've gotten off like terribly the
Well, I hope that helped.
No, absolutely. Any seat times are pretty
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for riding along. Appreciate it.
How's your ballast? I was evening it out.
Yeah, that's right. It was better because of it. I'll tell you what, this traction control is earning the cost of the upgrade. You can feel it working its magic throughout the course. I don't know if you can hear me calling it out on the audio or not, but it's doing some amazing things. And we've got 3 runs down. We've improved on every one. I don't believe I've hit a cone, but it's going so fast, and I don't have time to run back there and check, so we'll check it at the end. But it is. I'm not checking air pressures. I'm not checking temperatures on tires. I dropped them about 5 psi each before we started, and that's all I'm doing, and it seems to be hanging on. My concerns about the front end pushing aren't happening. My concerns about the back end getting out from me isn't happening, probably because of the traction control. But this is actually a lot of fun, and I think this car is showing its worth out here in this weather, believe it or not. So let's get ready to go again, run number 4. Full AC off, Sport Plus. We are ready to go. Camera's running. All right. Good looking run up until that point. So let's put together a good number 5 and 6. How about? Woo! workers are walking back in, so I'm going to grab my umbrella and go over and see what's happening. We might be done. That's too bad. We're having lots of fun. All right, guys, they are calling it. I think, I don't think it's lightning. I think it's more just hard to see the cones. There's no chalk left. There's water spray everywhere. So everybody's huddling up, getting ready to pack it in and go. So we got 3 runs in. I'll show you those times. No cones all day, so I'm pretty happy about that. Wish we could have given these other guys a chance to do some of their runs, but that's the way it goes, I guess. Fun day out here in the rain. I'll catch up with you a little bit here and give you some of the last parting thoughts. So for my application, I picked up this stuff from Quad Lock here, including the phone case for my phone so it could snap in, and this actual suction cup mount. It's got this nice case to be able to enable it. You got to put this on here at like a 45 and then twist it to the left and it locks right in. That works really nice. Sometimes, because I have this so close to the windshield and the dash, it's hard to get that on there, but you can see once it's on there, it's really good. One of the issues I had with this is, like I said, trying to get this so low and minimizing obstructions in my sight line, and needing to have the camera over here away from the actual mount. I put this at as much of an angle as I could, but because the window is so flat, this piece here, if I pull it off, the slots go kind of vertically like this. So when it's on the ball, I can go left and right, and I can go up and down. But once you get over here to a certain point and you're trying to push it forward, like I'd really like to have it over here to the left like this, but then I can't rotate it to the point on either one of these where, because I can't rotate that except that much left and right. So I can't get it to come over here and then swing this forward so that everything's nice and tucked in. Instead, I had to come to about the position you saw me here, like this, tighten it down, and then when I put it on there, I'm hitting the windshield or the dash trying to get it to square up on there. So it takes some real trial and error to get that baby on there. Kind of a pain when your window and your dash are getting this tight together up at the front. The only other option would be to put it further up here, but then you're obstructing a lot more of your view. So for the actual track precision, I actually enjoyed using it. It worked out quite well. I tried doing Track Addict, and just the setup was so difficult to try to get everything set up and functioning on it and not intuitive, that I ended up going with Track Precision because I like the displays anyways from the little bit of experimentation I did. And it just was, the ease of customer interface was so much better. So for the pros, obviously, CarPlay integration is a nice pro for the Track Precision. Along with that goes the nice big displays on your screen. So the start finish, stopping that, getting your time flashed up there, comparing the laps against each other. That part I really liked. It was much easier than the Sport Chrono, as I said, trying to click a little start stop for the chrono as I cross the finish line. Is next to impossible. Not going to happen. And on the launch, it's hard to hit it because if you go into launch mode, which I wasn't doing today, but if you go into launch mode, you get the countdown timer on the screen, and so you can't actually start and stop the chrono from your steering wheel. You got to go over to the PCM and do it on the display. The Porsche PCM integration, fantastic. The telemetry that goes along with that and the overlay, that's another huge plus. I love the semi-transparent steering wheel and the gauges that show the GTS in there. It shows you that it is specific to my car, and that's exactly what I would want and couldn't repeat in a different application such as Track Addict. I will say that the GoPro control in Track Precision was really nice because it's nice to be able to go in there and start and stop your GoPros with your laps. as opposed to having to get outside the car and turn them on and off all the time. Definitely helpful during the rain, as we found out. But aside from that, it's just a really good feature. Those are the pros. Now, what did I list as some of the cons, things that I wish were better in track precision? Well, that telemetry overlay, while it's fantastic, I really would like to be able to take that actual overlay of the gauges and the transparent steering wheel and just put those on the GoPro video, for example, or any other video that I want to lay in there. If I could sync it up on my own and put that overlay on it, that would be very nice. And as far as I know, the overlay itself is not exportable. Setting the start and finish, very problematic. As you can see, I saw other guys out there, I assumed they were with Track Addict, doing the same thing where they would walk over to the start line, drop a pin, walk over to the finish line, drop a pin, and then they were ready to go racing. When I would try to do it with track precision, like I explained to you, whether I had a segment defined out there on the course or not, it would not let me save that finish line being that close to the start line until I actually had a course driven in the car that showed that, okay, they're close to each other, but they're not the same point, and the course is definitely longer than the 100 feet between the two. Okay, so we're going to try to set up a track here with the start and finish line about as far apart as they were at the actual track. So essentially, go to tracks and then do a plus and then create before driving. So you can zoom in on where you're at here, and I'll say put a start line here. We'll say start line here. We're going to face it this direction. I got to slide it over here to where I'm at. We'll just put it here where we're standing, but out here in the road. And we'll say set the start line. And then what I did is I walk along, move the satellite map around, because the red dot doesn't stay up with you the whole time, but if you move the map around, it jumps. So I'm going to go about as far as I was when I created the finish line at the other place. I'm going to say about right here. I'm going to move it, should jump me. There we go. Now let's see if we can put a finish line right here. Finish. Move it over, and I'll set finish. And it says that they are too close to each other. You got to move them. So I'll cancel setting the finish. Let's see if we can put a segment in here. Okay, so we're going to put a segment here at the curve on these roads here and see if that's rotated around. So we're going like this, going around the curve. We'll set the sector, so that's there. So now it won't know if we went on all the way around this neighborhood and then came back to this finish line here, but we're going to try to put the finish line back where it was again over here. Okay, so here we are back at our same spot. So now let's see if we can put a finish line here. So we would say we went clear around that neighborhood, and now we're coming back here and finishing this way. And it still says the sectors are too close to each other. So that is frustrating. I could have gone up here and gone all the way around this entire neighborhood, up, around, and over, and then back down to the finish line, and had about a half-mile track, and it is saying that everything's too close. It doesn't like it, and it just will not let me set it. The other thing is only being able to sync up or pair up one GoPro at a time is a bit of a limitation. I was running with 2 GoPros. It would have been nice to be able to have them both paired up to the app so that they would both sync up with your lap. I had to do the syncing manually on the what effectively is the third camera, because I could only choose one at a time. I did mention I would recommend that you name your GoPros, because when you get out there and your GoPro is number 8893 or 9909 on screen, when you get out to the track and there are about a dozen other numbered GoPros out there, knowing which one is yours and selecting it is crucial. Luckily, I had been playing around with it the day before, and knew what my numbers were, so I was able to hit them. But otherwise, there would have been no way to tell. So if you can name your GoPro, you know, Biff's GoPro 1, Biff's GoPro 2, do that. Those are attractive names. And then the last thing I'll talk about that was both, I will say, a pro and a con was the quad lock. The pro is the quad lock ease of use, and the con is just the setup with that suction cup and the mounting options on a flat windshield or a very, very, very raked windshield like on the 911. I did like the quad lock for how easy it was when you had the camera snapped in there, the iPhone snapped in there. It does lock to the horizontal position once you've got it set up perfectly, so it's good to go. Ease of access to be able to touch it. You don't need to worry about it falling off. And the windshield mount has a great suction cup, didn't budge at all. But the limitations with that, as I showed you, are just being able to get that positioned where you want when you got a really flat windshield. If I had it posted on a side window or something like that, it would have been much more vertical and I could have put my phone camera anywhere I wanted it. But being on the windshield like that, I was definitely limited and not wanting to have it in my way while I drove the course. There are probably other solutions out there, but for now, we'll just call the quad lock both a pro and a con. So you can see that for track precision, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and therefore I would highly recommend it for Porsche owners to use on their Porsche track runs. Is definitely a way to go if you want to give it a try and do it in your Porsche. I highly recommend it, especially if you got a later model Porsche where you get all that good PCM integration of all of the telemetry. Everything is like, it's not just on or off. It shows you how much you're applying it as well as the traction control. All the different things showing up on that were fantastic, and we really got to put them to use. So definitely something you want to check out. Give it a try next time you're at the track and see if you agree with us or not. Let us know down in the comments. But that's kind of the summary for how we did today. But if you like this video, reach down there and like and subscribe and keep coming back, and we'll throw up some more here in the near future. You guys take care.